The big news of the day is 100% the blowback and the, what do they say? FAFO situation happening in Minnesota. As just last week, we spent a lot of time talking about Nick Shirley and the expose of him going from daycare to daycare and exposing all of the fraud and the back and forth that we've seen. It's been nonsense. There was the Leering Center and all the memes that came out of that. And there was some pressure on Tim Walz. Well, that pressure has reached a boiling point today, which we'll get to in just a minute. But first, did you see what happened after apparently they cut all of the funding in Minnesota? There was a Craigslist article that was out there. It was a post searching for, quote, child actors. Did you see this post?
No. Yes, I saw that actually. Yeah.
Minneapolis Craigslist post in search for child actors for daycare site where funding was, quote, cruelly ripped away without cause to, quote, to help hurry the state vetting process. We are looking to hire 20 actors for 3 days while state is present at the site. $1,500 for the day.
This is
for
real.
3 days. I did click this. It did go somewhere. It did go to this exact same. It has since been removed.
Oh, yeah.
It did exist. Now, doing the math on this, to be clear, this is what it said here. If you do the math on this, 20 kids, 3 days, $1,500. That's $90,000. That's $90,000 to get their license. That is called an expense right there. So the expense to generate more revenue. Yes, Phoenix.
I had nothing to say. I already told you the Pepsi story, so
okay,
we're good.
Sorry. You anytime you bring your mic to your face, I feel like you have something to say. So here we go. And by the way, this was pointed out that this actually does line up directly over. The center of this is ironically, or maybe not, directly over where the Quality Leering Center was. Interesting stuff.
It just keeps getting better and better.
I know.
This is phenomenal to watch. It's phenomenal.
Yes.
And the thing is, look, maybe it's unrelated, but whatever. But we live in a timeline where it's actually feasible. Like that actually might be completely connected.
Now look, some people in the chat are saying this is a troll post. Maybe it is, right? Maybe it is. But the point is that it is believable, right? Like this is something that I could absolutely see happening.
It seems like somebody with a 68 IQ would try to do that and think they could get one over on people, which, by the way, is like the average IQ for Somalians.
Yes. But I mean, I think it is worth talking about. It popped off. There is no community note on this, by the way. So how am I supposed to think for myself when there's no community note here, guys? What are we talking about here? But yes, I think this is crazy believable, you know? As Nick Shirley pointed out, how convenient the Circle Radar is right above the Quality Leering Center. Whether this is a troll post or not, it is something that I could absolutely see happening. Speaking of trolling, Nick Shirley has been doing the media rounds recently, talking with folks. And he said his new favorite hobby is ratioing Tim Walz on Twitter. This is what he said.
So in terms of...
My favorite new hobby is ratioing Tim Walz on Twitter.
I see you ratioing everybody on Twitter. That's your new favorite hobby, apparently. What's your Twitter look like?
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at ratioing people like Tim Walz on Twitter because they're speaking like idiots and they're supporting fraud. And it turns out that the majority of the population doesn't support fraud. And so on Twitter, it's been actually crazy. For instance, just the past few days on Twitter, I put out one tweet, over 200,000 likes on me calling out the mainstream media. And a simple tweet of me saying mainstream media is more mad at me than they are at the fact that billions of your tax dollars are being used for fraudulent business. I am not an enemy of the people. They are. I'm with you. They are against you. Remember that. 253,000 people like that tweet. Wow.
So he's done a very good job of ratioing the governor of Minnesota many, many times just by pointing out all the nonsense that's happening in their state here, which leads us to this morning, where now we have the news that Governor Tim Walz has dropped out of the 2026 Minnesota governor's race amid a multi-billion-dollar fraud scandal. Here's the news.
Major breaking political news out of St. Paul, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tim Walz will not seek re-election as governor, and what a fall from grace this has been for him.
So,
That's ironic, considering you have to have grace in order to fall from grace, and that man didn't have any.
Bingo.
Imagine if Kamala and him had won and he was vice president right now.
I think that's the thing that people really need to put in perspective. A year and a half ago, this guy was in line to be second in command to the free world. That's scary, man. That's scary stuff. And if you think that Minnesota's a dumpster fire, could you imagine what would be happening right now to the entire United States?
Especially with his ties to China, too. Like, there's a lot of sketchy shit in his past.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, people in his own state have not been happy about this. As if you recall, not too long ago, he was given his own little speech at the Capitol, and he was not received very well.
Welcome to the Capitol. It's great that you're all... Sir, you're welcome to come. Let me finish. Let me finish and vote.
Harris said, "Do not come."
So he got booed out of his own Capitol building by people who have just had enough of it. And apparently, according to Polymarket, he had like a 60% chance of winning it. The irony of all this is, like, I've never met somebody who has done nothing wrong who just decided to quit. You know, when there's smoke, there's fire. And generally the guy who lights the fire doesn't just run away from the fire, and be like, I didn't, it's pretty amazing. Which
one of the rumors I've heard, I don't know if you're about to get to it. One of the rumors I've heard is that it's not even necessarily about all the fire that's been here, that there's actually things coming down the pipeline that he's aware of and wanted to bow out before it came out. That's what I've heard.
Oof. Wow. He's
not just stepping down.
Well, yeah, the fact that he's going to run out the rest of his governorship or whatever it is, like, yeah, that's crazy. But it is, I guess it's good, but when is the next election cycle for Minnesota? It's midterms, I guess, right? Is that when it is? I'm asking because I legitimately don't know. That does give them time to kind of find a replacement and actually put some Band-Aids on things, I suppose.
Maybe find some more dead people to vote for the candidate. That could be a thing too.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Now, he did take to X and he posted a giant long paragraph, like freaking the Odyssey over here, talking through this 4 pages here. And rightfully so, as you would expect him to do. It goes directly to Donald Trump.
That's the entire platform. Fraud's okay. Everything's okay as long as you hate on Trump.
This was the eroticism fiction letter that I read this morning to help myself power up. It really started my day strong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got you excited, huh?
Hell yeah.
That's great. Well, that was it was interesting to see. And Nick Shirley, in his way of ratioing Tim Walz, he's great at his hobby here. Guess what? He did it again. He says, you shouldn't put Minnesota first you should have put Minnesota first when you had the chance. Instead, you let billions of dollars of fraud happen across your state. Anyways, I hope Quality Leering Center is hiring. Pretty good right there.
He's going to open up the Walz steak here. What are you talking about?
Right. He's going to get the next governor in, and he's going to be getting kickbacks there. It's going to be interesting to see what Tim Walz's net worth will increase to after his time as the Minnesota mayor. And Nick Shirley once again came in with 260,000 likes on this post. I ended Tim Walz right here. And
Elon, boy.
Yeah. Elon Musk, thank God. And Nick Shirley's right. This would not have been possible without X.
Yep.
And he's 100% right, because you go back and you look, that video on YouTube has like less than 3 million views. It has 160 million views over on X.
There's so many things that would have never really hit the public zeitgeist without X. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the Irina stabbing on that bus and a whole bunch of other stuff. We'd have never really known about a lot of that without X, because the mainstream doesn't cover any of this shit unless you force them to.
Well, I'll say this. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers has said many, many times that Elon Musk buying X or Twitter at the time may have been the biggest cultural thing in history.
It is.
I think he's right. I really do. Yeah. You mentioned all those things that would never have seen the light of day. And, you know, X has this reputation by those not on X of being this, you know, right-wing echo chamber, which is ironic because for years and years and years, it was the opposite.
So, yeah, it was
right?
a left-wing echo chamber.
Yeah.
You would get banned and kicked off of the platform for getting someone's pronouns wrong, which, by the way, you had to click on their profile to go see those if they were even optionally in there. They would still just kick you off. You just go post on something, call them if they want to be called a she and you say he, they'll fucking report you and you would have been gone.
It's amazing. We've heard over and over again that from Elon Musk in particular, you, meaning everybody on X, is the media now, right? For the first time, really in my life, you know, there's always been a thumb on the scale as far as a media perspective, from a social media perspective. The thumb telling you, you know, to think this way. You go back to COVID and you say, well, you can't say this. And even now on YouTube, there's things that you can and cannot say because they're not advertiser friendly or they're against TOS guidelines or whatever, right? Which is why we're thankful for platforms like Rumble. But for the first time, I think when we look back, there have been stories that have broken, that have been broken on X that were not covered by the mainstream media. But what happened with this story was that it was so viral and it had so much momentum that it forced the traditional mainstream media to cover it, which then expanded it. And now look, they certainly have put their own little slant on things, right? Quote unquote right-wing YouTuber Nick Shirley. They've done all the best they can to discredit Nick Shirley as just a kid. He doesn't even have a journalism. He's never been to a journalism class, right? And I think that's the beautiful thing about X is that you can go and just see it with your own eyes. All he did was just show up and say, hey, where are the kids? Just please, are there any kids here? Hey, have you guys ever seen any kids here? And it's not a matter of framing something. He just put it out there and let people see with their own eyes, which is exactly how this platform should be used. It's great. As Officer Lou points out, says 23-year-old Nick Shirley just ended Tim Walz's political career with an iPhone and an X account. That's it.
Hold on a second, though. He's not a trained, accredited journalist.
I know. Yes, absolutely. He didn't go to school for it.
Well, that's what shit the bed was during the pandemic. I'm not saying anything here that no one knows. During the pandemic, all we had was the experts telling us information. When you had the layman, the everyday guy, the tin knocker, who would just go like, "Oh, wait a second, experimental medicine. Maybe we should do some trials." Like just a question. So you had the everyman using common sense, and that was poo-pooed over the quote-unquote expert. And so it seems that side really needs a title in order to listen to anything, even though when common sense is really sensical, it's ignored. So it makes sense that they're really throwing a hissy fit that he's not an official college-accredited journalist, like as though that means literally anything. I mean, look at James O'Keefe and what he's been able to do, and the whole department he's run without needing accredited journalists.
Now, we could also consider the opinion of the top political leftist streamer, Hassan. Have you considered that Israel might have caused this fraud?
I haven't heard this. Is this a thing?
He said we should consider it.
Oh, okay.
It could be Israel's fault.
What a shocking statement from him.
Like I said, I don't know the first
Israel
thing
did this.
Yeah. I'm not a big geopolitics guy. I'm not
Apparently, Israel is also responsible for Venezuela.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Craig, I can help you. Israel's responsible for ... literally everything. That is the...
Okay, well, now we know. Thank you for
there
that.
You brought up to speed.
We should consider Hassan's opinion because he is the top political leftist streamer.
Oh, well, that's good. We should, because does he have a political degree?
He does, yes.
Does he have a
He's
journalism
one of the
degree?
only people qualified to talk about these kinds of things.
Does he have a journalism degree?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think just political science. By the way, C's get degrees, so.
Oh, good point. Well, a lot of people in the chat have been saying this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the fraud in Minnesota. And I think they may be right, as this is now being, I don't know, did you guys see the federal child meal thing? This thing going off? Check this out. This is actually a news report. And once again, I talked about this when this whole thing broke. It's forced the traditional media to cover the story. And here's the local media in Minneapolis covering this. Because if you thought the fraud ended at daycare centers and all this stuff, no. It's everywhere. Take a look at this.
In December of 2021, the FBI installed a surveillance camera overlooking this building just off Lake Street in Minneapolis. At the time, it was Safari Restaurant, which overall took in $12 million in federal child meal payments through Feeding Our Future. Safari's former co-owner, Salim Saeed, is on trial alongside Amy Bach, the Feeding Our Future executive director.
That's a white woman.
Yep. She didn't want to be racist. Let's continue here. So 12
More
million.
important to not want to be conceived as a racist. It's then your 30% of your income going to these people. You should be okay with them spending money on Lamborghinis and rental homes, $3,000 glasses. You don't want to be perceived as a racist. So 100-something days of your year going to taxes, you should be okay with it going to scum.
Well, this place got $12 million, but they justified it. So listen to how they justified it.
Safari claimed to feed 4,000 to 6,000 kids a day. Its invoices and meal counts shown to the jury alongside the video. An FBI.
I mean, if you're feeding 4,000 to 6,000 people a day, specifically children, hey, what a great cause. You know, if you're making sure that just to put this in perspective, if you're feeding 4,000 to 6,000 kids a day, let's just think about that. That's a ton of people.
I can't wait to find out that the population of the entire place is like 1,000 people.
Well, here we go. So they're getting 4,000 to 6,000 people a day, according to their records, right? That's a lot of meals and a lot of money. How many, just curious, how many people do you think they were actually feeding a day?
Oh, it's got to be abysmal.
20.
100.
Okay.
Agent testifying that an average of 40 people came and went
There we
during the
go.
6 weeks it was surveilled.
So they looked at it for 6 weeks and found that 40 people on average went there, not 4,000.
They accidentally
40.
added those 2 zeros. That was an accidental pen slip up.
That's right.
The FBI set up a total of 12 cameras at sites claiming to serve extraordinary numbers of meals. Another was at a deli in St. Paul, also registered by defendant Salim Saeed, which
Same dude.
claimed 1,800 meals per day. The video shown to the jury showed an average of 23 people a day coming and going. The jury was shown dozens of invoices.
It's amazing. Go ahead, Phoenix.
No, I'm sorry. I was making fun of that guy. The jury.
Okay.
Meal counts and emails seized from Feeding Our Future's headquarters in St. Anthony. Some showed links to websites that randomly generated names and ages to create rosters of children who were served meals. Many were signed or sent by Amy Bach, who's charged with wire fraud, along with bribery for the alleged kickbacks that she received. Her defense attorney tried to raise doubt when it cross-examined the FBI agent.
Okay. Well, how do you think that the defense attorney tried to raise doubt? What do you think? Good idea. Always a good fallback there.
Yeah.
That was Tim Walz. What he said too. Remember, he's like talking about how it's actually white supremacy.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Well, this guy had just a brilliant idea on how to push back on the fraud accusations here, right? They had 12 cameras set up at this place. 12. but
that they didn't see the back entrance where it's possible meals left packed in trucks for delivery. He pushed back, insisting they'd still see congestion. To that volume, he said, I would say it would not make any sense.
so he's saying that, well, you didn't see the back door. That's where all the kids came in, everybody. You didn't see the back door. So look, the entire idea here is that if you thought the Quality Learning Center and all of the medical supply places or whatever it is, all these places up there, if you thought that was it, man, we're right here. We're right here. And that iceberg is going to go super far down. And I want to be clear. This is not a Minnesota issue. This is an everywhere issue. It's not just Minnesota. It's in Washington. It's in Texas.
It's actually global.
Oklahoma.
They're
100%.
uncovering stuff in Italy right now too.
I would be willing to bet half of our GDP is on fraud.
Man, could we like?
I think what do you make, like 2.5 something? I don't know what the number is, but I bet you half of all of the revenue collected is going to fraud.
Gosh, that doesn't that just make you so like? Can you imagine if your taxes were cut in half, or at least they did something with that money? Like
yeah, maybe
like,
actually do something with all these social services that they want. Like you could fund all of that easily, but instead, the people that complain about it just put that money in their fucking pocket. Man, why do you think all these assholes that go into government become so fucking rich?
Oh yeah, I mean insider trading and obviously kickbacks.
Scam.
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000.
That's why they wanted Doge shut down so much. I don't want that fucking gravy train shut down. All these people are just scum.
I got to be honest. At this point, I am on board with literally everything that's happening in this country. Like I am on board with pretty much everything that's happening, exposing all this fraud, the media being held accountable, citizen journalism coming to fruition, and just the giant plate of poop that is being shoved in everybody's face right now to show just how stupid this country has been for a long time. And you have a president who it just doesn't care at this point, and he's going to do what he needs to get done. And
now try and imagine feeling the opposite way. That's what's throwing me, is seeing this and going, this is horrible. We are going in the wrong direction. Like when you're at the point of defending fraud, or at least not even willing to look into it, if you don't realize you're the bad guy, I don't know what more information you need. You're the bad guy. Sorry about it.
I'd never felt so on the right side of history than right now.
Like clearly, obviously on the right side.
Right. Oh my goodness. All right.
Like
Well,
they're going after that Nick guy so hard on his character. Like at this point, I don't care if he wrote a book and said the N word 10,000 times. I care more about fraud and stopping this shit. But this just becomes so routine.
Well, you don't have a point when someone has to say, you look fat. Like if that's basically the equivalent of what they're saying to you, is they're just like, I think he had danced with his mother for prom or some bullshit. Like that's what you got in response. There's fraud. Like it's clear.
That was my favorite thing, was like in high school, he made prank videos with his friends, and then he pivoted to politics. It's like,
gives a fuck.
It was like when he was 15, everybody would be making videos with their friends, pranking people. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the fraud. Okay,
right,
like that was fun. Can we talk about the fraud again?
Yes, but disregard the $9 billion. Yeah. But he was making prank videos with his friends in high school. Crazy. Obey YouTube. Watch this video. It's suggested for you.